Here comes to another episode. If you are watching this video in shorts or reels, go to our YouTube channel and see the full video. Let's start. The angry young man, his shoulders squats against a corrupt system, a fire burning in his eyes. The bubbly, talkative girl from Batinda, a word of optimism, who decides to go on her honeymoon alone. The determined farmer in a broad-stricken village who stakes his future on a game of cricket against his colonial opponents. Vijay, Geet, Bhuvan, you don't just know their names, you know them. You have walked in their shoes, felt their pain, celebrated their triumphs. They are more than characters, they are the engineers of their stories. They are the reason we care. They are the protagonists. Welcome back to CinemaCraft Achieved Season 1, The Craft of Screenwriting. In our last episode, we explored the theme, the soul of the story. But a soul needs a body. A theme needs a vehicle to carry. The vehicle is your protagonist. They are the audience window into your world and the journey of the emotional and structural core of your entire screenplay. Getting them right is everything. This is episode 5, The Protagonist Journey. First, let's clarify our terms. We often use the word hero and protagonist changeably, but they are not the same thing. A hero is a moral designation. They are brave, noble, good. A protagonist is a technical narrative designation. The protagonist is simply the character whose choices and actions drive the story forward. They are the characters who has the most at stake. The protagonist is Satya of Gangster. The protagonist of Dev D is self-destructive addict. Are the heroes? That's debatable, but are the protagonist? Absolutely. The story follows their choice, their struggles, their journey. The single most important quality of a protagonist is agency. They must be active, not passive. Things don't judge happen to them. They make their choices, take actions, deal with the consequences. Even a story about very timid character is about their journey towards agency. So, how do we build this active, compelling character? You start by answering two fundamental questions. This is the absolute core of a character development. Question 1: what does my protagonist want? This is their external goal. It's tangible, plot driven, and something the audience can easily track. To win the hockey match, to find the missing husband, to marry the person they love. The want is engine of your plot. It's the finish line of the race. Question 2: what does my protagonist need? This is the terminal internal journey. It's the lesson they must learn, the flaw they must overcome to become a better, more complete person. It also almost always unconscious. The character does not know what they need, but the audience senses it. The need is engine of your character arc, and it's inextricably linked to the film theme. Think of it like an iceberg. The want is the 10% of the above water. The need is the massive 90% hidden beneath the surface. A story with only a want is a simple action. A story with only a need can feel aimless and navel gazing. A truly great story is about how the pursuit of the want forces the protagonist to confront their need. There is no better film to illustrate the power of wants versus need than Shimit Amin's Chalk Day India. Let's break down the protagonist Kabir Khan. His want is crystal clear from the very beginning. This is actional and measurable. He wants to coach an Indian women's national hockey team to World Cup victory. Why to redeem his name after a devastating loss to Pakistan years ago left him branded as a traitor. This goal drives every single plot point of the movie. But what does Kabir Khan need? His flaw is that he is haunted by his past. He is arrogant, emotionally closed off, and driven by a selfish desire of personal redemption. What he needs is to move past his own trauma and become true teacher. He needs to learn trust again, not just his players, but the very idea of unfair team representing India, the nation that he feels betrayed him. The film's theme that unity triumphs over this division is something he must learn before he can teach it. Watch how the film masterfully interwitnesses these two journeys. In Act 1, he takes the coaching job. This is the start of his external one. But his methods are harsh and directorial. He forces the girl to live and eat together, trying to hammer this team into them. He is acting from his flaw. In Act 2, the pursuit of the want forces him to confront his need. When the team is about to disbanded, he arranges the match against the man's team. It's a plot point, but it's the first time he truly puts the team's future ahead in his own ego. He starts to trust them. The famous Sattar minute speech before the final is the perfect synthesis of want and need. He is telling them how to win the match, but he is doing it is a selfless mentor who believes in them. In Act 3, the climax, they win the World Cup, the actional want is achieved, but the final cathartic moment is not him again lifting the cup. It's the quiet shot of him seeing a child holding the Indian flag, and he tears up in the moment sorry, his internal need for redemption, for belonging, for healing his relationship with his country is finally fulfilled. The plot gives us a thrilling victory. The character arc gives us a profound emotional release. This is the magic of want versus need. Okay, we have the architecture of our protagonist. But how do we make the audience connect with them? How do we build empathy? First, give them flaws. A perfect protagonist is boring protagonist. Flaws make characters humans and relatable. Kabir Khan's arrogance, Lagan's Bhuvan's overconfidence, Geet's naivety in job. We met these are not weakness in the writing. They are the very things that make the character interesting and give them room to grow. Second, show their vulnerability. What are they afraid of? What do they stand to lose? A character is only as compelling as stakes they are facing. In Dangal, we feel for Mahavir Singh forgot because we understand his vulnerability, the fear that his dream will die with him, and that his daughters will face the same limit future as every other girl in their village. Third, a classic technique, the save the cat movement, this term coined by screenwriter Black Snyder refers to a small early scene where the protagonist does something kind or decent that gets the audience on their side. In Munna by MBBS, one of the first things we see Munna do is hug a humble hospital cleaner, whom the dean has just insulted in that single simple act. We know that despite his bravado, and illegal activities. His heart is the right place. We are on his side for the rest of the movie. Not all protagonists are like the proactive driven Kabir Khan. Some are reluctant, passive, and focused into their journey. A brilliant example is Rani in Vikas Bahi Queen. At the start of the film, Rani has no agency. Her life is defined by her family and her fiancé Vijay. Her want is simply to get married. When Vijay dumps her, she does not have a new goal. She lost her decision to go on her honeymoon alone is not a brave, proactive choice. It's a confused, heartbroken, almost accidental one. She is the definition of passive protagonist. But the film's genius is that her journey is almost entirely about her need to discover her own identity, independence, and self worth. The plot a series of travel vignettes in Paris and Amsterdam serves as the crucible that forges her new identity. Each new person she meets, she new experience she has chips away at the timid girl she was, that reveals confident woman she was meant to be. The climax is not a big fight, it's a quick conversation. She meets Vijay and says simply thank you. She has found her own agency. Her arc is complete. Queen is a master class in showing that protagonist journey can be entirely internal and still be utterly captivating. Now it's time to meet you, our protagonist. I want you to sit down and interview them. Don't think about plot for a moment. Just try to understand them as a person. Here are your questions. First, what is your single greatest desire in the world? What do you want more than anything? Second, what is your greatest fear? Third, what is the lie you tell yourself? I am fine on my own or the only thing that matters is success. This is the lie source of their internal flaw. And finally, what is the truth you need to learn to become whole? Take your own time with this. The answer of those four questions will from the very foundation of entire story. So the protagonist, they are not just hero, they are the active engine of your story. Their journey is two-lane highway of an external want that drives the plot, and then inter- internal need that drives their emotional arc. Make them flawed, make them vulnerable, and we will follow them anywhere. Your protagonist is now taking shape, but every greatest protagonist is defined by the forces that oppose them. A hero is only as greatest as the shadow they cast. Next week, in the next episode, we step into darkness. We will learn to create the engine of conflict with episode 6, The Shadow of Self, crafting the antagonist. Until then, get to know your protagonist. They are waiting to tell you the story.